Well, that was weird. Alright, hey all. Welcome to My Adventures in Mega Man Anniversary Collection. A collection of Mega Man games that, was released on the PlayStation 2. And is pretty much how I got into Mega Man, at least classic Mega Man. I had an interest in Mega Man before this point, since I had played the Battle Network series, but I figured I'd start here and start with this pretty interesting collection. It's not as advanced as your legacy collections or your digital versions that you can get on consoles nowadays, but you know, this was still a pretty amazing thing, you know, not just because of this cool little interactive menu where you get to run around and choose your options, but like, there were a lot of different games here. In addition to the in addition to the 8 games that were originally released at the time, it also gave you 2 mysterious games here that we will go into detail on later. For the time being, though, we're only going to be covering the first Mega Man game. And we're going to have plenty to say on that. It's a very short game in comparison to what we've done so far, so we will just have to hope that we can fit as much content in as we can, I think, in this case, because even by Mega Man games, this is actually pretty short. Mega Man games typically are not super long, but this one doesn't even have a full roster of Robot Masters. It doesn't have any sort of intro cutscene. It's not going to tell you what the story is. There's, you know, it's not like this comes with a manual either, so I can't really read to you what the story is. The most that I can tell you is that the game is basically takes place in the year 200X, and there are 2 scientists, Dr. Light and Dr. Wily. They both created a bunch of robots to help with servicing society, and Dr. Wily got tired of being overshadowed by Dr. Light, who was better at it, I guess. So, Dr. Wily took a bunch of the robots that they had worked on and reprogrammed them to help him in taking over the world, of course. And now, the only way to stop him was to have Dr. Light's butler robot be rebuilt as Mega Man. So Rock volunteered. He actually came up with the idea himself and wanted to be converted into a super fighting robot. And now that he is, he's going to be taking down his brethren. And as you can see, we get to choose which ones we go after first. There's a bunch of different ways you can choose. All of them are simple enough that you can fight them as a first boss, but whoever you choose as the first boss is going to give you an advantage that you can use in the next level, which we'll get to later. But for the time being, I'm going to start with Cutman, and I will get into why I chose Cutman eventually. But for the time being, we're going to choose Cutman here, and we get to one of the first interesting things about the Anniversary Collection, aside from seeing, you know, a different Alph thing than you might be used to, you get a remixed soundtrack here. Yeah, there's a lot of little additions that they did for the Anniversary Collection that you may not know about. if you've only played the original Mega Man or the Legacy Collection, and if you've never played Mega Man at all, well, you've missed out on a major classic. And here's another addition. If you fall into this hole, you will not survive, despite how much energy you have left. That's Dr. Light, Mega Man's creator. And he is giving Mega Man some guidance in this version. This is the Navi mode of the game. It's kind of like a hint system. It's not necessary. You are able to deactivate it as far as I know, but I like the idea of having Mega Man's helpers jump in and help, and it'll be funny to look at the Navi mode because it's not the best translated version. I'm not sure what happened there, but that's okay. What isn't okay are these enemies. And look, another hint from a weird bird. I don't know. I don't know who that bird is. Beats me. But, oh, it doesn't help. Not that I really needed it, but, you know. The more the merrier. Oh, there it is anyway. Okay. Yeah, just be careful here. So, again, this is another thing that I don't know if it's just exclusive to the Anniversary Collection, or if it was in the original Mega Man. There's a bit of a slide step that Mega Man does here, so you gotta be a little careful, but he also has another thing. So, normally, since I'm playing on the PlayStation 2, I can shoot with the square button, but I can also just hold the triangle, and I have like an auto shot, and that makes this really useful to have. Sometimes I forget I have it, but it's really good to have, so keep that in mind when you're bouncing around. Don't really go after those red balls that you see there. These are point system. I don't know what you call it exactly, but they're basically points. And points are nice, but you don't want to die for points. This is the only game in the Mega Man series, other than a remake of the Mega Man 1. Remake of Mega Man 1. There was a remake of Mega Man 1 that also brought the point system back, but that's only just because it was a remake. And you know, people are usually happy to see it gone. I've seen fan mods that take it out completely. I don't think it really matters one way or the other, but I guess it's less distracting. Go forward. You're the scissors. What does that mean? Well, it actually means this is a box that shoots out a bunch of scissor blades. So yeah, just be careful because you don't want to be killed by scissors. I'm trying to see if I can kill them myself, but it's not worth it. Yeah, that's another thing to keep in mind too. This game does that annoying thing that older video games like to do. If you go off screen, the enemy will respawn, and I don't know how I survived that. I don't know how I'm surviving this. I'm okay. Alright. Come on. Yeah. Just a lot of patience. It's the first level, so don't expect to have too much options or advantages, although even when you do get other abilities later on, people like to stick to just using his standard Mega Buster, and I don't know why. I think that there's a lot more interesting things you can do with his later abilities. I'm trying not to spoil too much here, you know, for the game that's so old that most people that will watch us never even lived that long. This game is an oldie but a goodie, as the cliche phrase would say. I'm sorry for just shooting constantly. I shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, that's another thing that you may be noticing. I'm actually playing this live. You know, the other playthroughs I've been doing so far, I haven't been able to do so because of recording issues, and this also has some recording issues. But at the very least, this one seems to be working so far. That's good. Just hopefully we'll live long enough to actually make it worthwhile. Oh, no wait, I want to be over here in case he drops, so... Because... Ow, I just dropped the point. Oh no, 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 no! Let's just do this. There we go. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Come on. Ah, just points. I don't think I can get up there anyway. Nope. Oh, that was a waste of time. Great! But hey, at least we got 10,000 points. Run! Yeah, those should never hit you as long as you run, but... I say hope they never hit you. These things are so annoying. Creepy looking too. Do not fall! It is actually a really bad idea to fall. Not just because, oh, I'm gonna miss out on my health power, but because... Yeah, you would not survive. Oh, man. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Get out of here. Okay. Nope, not him from Dr. Light. Watch out for the thorn, Mega Man. Thorn! Yeah. Every time we call those spikes, apparently they're not spikes, they're thorns. I don't know where that came from, but that's what he's saying. Oh, we got another enemy. Big Eye is a tough enemy. Avoiding him is the way to overcome this step. Yeah, this thing is the bane of a lot of people, especially later on in the playthrough. It can be really tough to deal with because of where they place this thing. Luckily, we have the auto fire. Oh gosh, that wasn't enough! No! No, it wasn't enough! Okay, we off-screened him. It's kind of a shame. I wanted to fight him. Alright, well, that's okay. So now we will get to face the Robot Master here, Cutman. A strong reaction by the shutter. Be careful. In we go! Alright, we're gonna be dealing with the first Robot Master, Cutman. And he might actually be weak to the Mega Buster, because, as you'll see here, after I read this, even if Cutman is close, be calm and attack. If you can incur damage to him, you can thrust back. So, that's actually what I'm about to talk about here. So when you shoot Cutman... Whoa, okay, he's gonna do that. When you shoot Cutman, he actually bounces back, and I don't think any other Robot Master ever does that. So he might actually be weak to the Mega Buster. There is a thing about him actually idolizing Mega Man, so maybe that has something to do with it, where he just recognizes that Mega Man is stronger than him. It also should be worth noting that Mega Man's real name, and name in Japan as well, is Rock, or RockMan. I actually died to Cutman. Dang. But anyway, his, you know, he's fighting Rock, or RockMan. And, he is Cutman, and he is Scissors. Rock, paper, scissors say, ugh. It's a bit, silly. Ow. You little brat. Ugh. He really relies on touch damage, which is something I always hate in video games. Oh no, I didn't know he was gonna do that. No! 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 Ooh. Alright, we beat him. We actually beat Cutman. That was harder than it should have been, but that's okay. Whew. So, we'll just get this weird, I don't know, brain chip? I don't know what this would be exactly. But we'll grab this, and we will continue onward in the next part of my adventures in Mega Man. DLN-003 Cutman. Cutman was created by Dr. Light to be a timber-felling robot, and is able to use the large, strong, ceramic titanium shears on his head to cut enormous trees in two with little effort.
His main combat move, the Rolling Cutter, sees him detach those same shears from his head and hurl them like a boomerang at his target. He was constructed with a light, nimble body and foothooks that allow him to operate even in stormy weather. Cutman is said to look up to preceding DLN Mega Man like an older brother, but despite his sharp mind, he has a tendency to not listen to others. He is a fan of kirigami, the Japanese paper cutting and folding technique, but dislikes the game rock, paper, scissors.